Hi guys, my name is Jordan and welcome to my gaming channel. And if you've looked at the title of this video, which I assume you probably do before clicking on the video, unless you just see like the thumbnail picture in black, oh this looks good. But anyway, yes, if you've seen the video title, then you'll see that this is like part 1 out of I'm not sure how long it's going to be. At the moment it's originally planned to be 10 videos long, but it could be longer, it could be shorter, it all depends on what you guys think, because your feedback to me is key in like telling me what I should and what I shouldn't do on this channel, and what you guys like to see on this channel, and what you guys prefer to see on this channel. So this is basically the first video of, like, I haven't decided an exact title for it. Obviously when you do see it, it will have an exact title, but it's going to just be me talking like about mainly like the frequently asked questions and stuff like that on PC gaming. And all like any questions you guys have, I might answer at the end when I've finished like doing my 10th video. I may be able to answer questions any of you guys have, because I really want to make you guys because quite a lot of people on my channel are like people who want to get into PC gaming and like haven't quite made like the jump into PC gaming. They really want to get into it, but they just don't know like all the information about it and like how to get into it like easily and such. So like this video, these videos, sorry, not just this video, there's 10 of them planned at the moment, but anyway, sorry, I'm just waffling again. These are just going to be like almost like guides and like frequently asked questions sort of things about PC gaming, just so you guys have all the information which you need to know just before you make the leap into the amazing world of PC gaming. So yeah, so as you can probably tell by the title, this is episode 1, which is actually about the graphics. And you're probably wondering why graphics was the thing I chose first about PC gaming, but that is the main, like, for people who aren't into PC gaming and are like console gamers and just casual gamers, the main thing which draws them to PC gaming at the start is just the graphics. Obviously once you get into it, you realise there is a lot more things about PC gaming which makes it like really good and like awesome. Obviously this is all in my opinion, but I like to think most of it is like fact. But obviously some things may be slightly biased, but I should probably start off by saying that actually before I played on PC, I actually used to play on Xbox 360, and I was playing on that for, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years, and then before that I had a PlayStation 2, so I have actually been like a console gamer for the most of my life. I've only actually really been playing PC games properly for just over a year, around about a year, just over a year, so I do like to think that I'm not like the most biased of people, so yeah, I just thought I'd get that out of the way before anyone's like, you're really biased, I hate you because you're so biased and you're telling us wrong information. But anyway, yeah, so most of this information should in fact be fact. You like my little 2 facts there in 1 sentence. But yeah, so main thing people always like which draws people to PC gaming is just the graphics, and I have to say that the graphics difference between PC and console, especially on certain games, is just incredibly different. Because what you've got to think about is that, because just like this is just the sort of thing to think about, is like consoles when they were first released, they didn't really have like top of the range hardware. I think they even had like year-old hardware in them even when they were released, and it wasn't even like top of the range like graphics cards and hardware in them. And if you think they've been going for 5 years, so they've been stuck on the same hardware for 5 years, whereas with PC you can put the latest hardware in and stuff like that, and like you can put in like high-end hardware which probably doesn't even cost relatively that much. It's just Microsoft and Sony are trying to keep the cost of producing the Xbox and PS3 down. And I suppose we could put Wii in there, but they, like in the graphics argument, they really, like at the moment, I'm not sure about the Wii U yet because that hasn't been released, but at the moment they're not really like really heavy hitting in the graphics department. So if there's any Wii owners, I'm not being rude to you, I'm just sort of leaving you out of this debate because Wii doesn't really have the best graphics, although it does lead to like quite nice graphic styles. But anyway, we'll just move on. But yeah, it's like the hardware in PC is so much more advanced, so much faster, and it just enables like developers to just put in much higher graphics on PC. It's like with the Xbox 360, the maximum, like you can get it to output to your television, and your television will say it's getting a 1080p signal from your Xbox. But what's actually happening is the Xbox is rendering a 720p signal, or sometimes even lower than that. I know that on Halo 3 it renders some really strange resolution, which is like 648p or something really weird like that. Obviously don't quote me on this, but I know it was less than 720p. And it renders it at that, and then it just upscales it, which doesn't improve the image quality at all. It just makes the television think it's receiving 1080p. Obviously some upscaling does slightly increase the quality, but it does not make it the same as a proper HD 1080p like source video. It's like if you get a 540p, no, what is it, 560p, sorry, video on YouTube, you know, you can click on the little cog and you can look at it in 540p. If you look at that full screen on your computer or laptop, it's not going to look as good as if you get like a 1080p video and look at that on your full screen on your computer or laptop. So that's always like, that's like a really good thing in the PC's favour in terms of graphics, is that the fact that it can actually do full 1080p gaming. And what this allows for is like, not only has everything got a lot more fidelity, fidelity means like it's finer details and like more visible and stuff, but it also means that like it's easier to spot when it's just like the tip of an enemy. Obviously I'm using first-person shooter games here for an example, although it can apply to many other things. You can just see like the tip of an enemy around a building, and it may only be like 1 pixel wide, but because like on Xbox it's rendering at a lower resolution, you wouldn't be able to see that on a console game, which is obviously means that you're not going to be able to see the enemy and you're probably going to run past them and get killed. But obviously it just means, not only does it make it look more beautiful, then it also gives you like the edge in games. It gives you an advantage, this higher resolution, because obviously you can see smaller things further away, which is obviously an advantage in all games, even like driving games, because you can see like corners. Like even if it's like, if you've got like little dips in corners and stuff like that you need to watch out for in a driving game or something like that, then obviously it's going to help for you to be able to see that further away, so you have more time to prepare. So that is like one of the main advantages PC has over console for graphics. So another thing I'll move on to is the higher frames per second which PC can offer. For example, like most Xbox 360, I'm not too sure about sorry, I've just forgotten the name of the console, PlayStation 3, but most Xbox 360 games run at 30 frames a second. The exception to this is, oh god, I've forgotten again. The exception to this, sorry, is Call of Duty, which runs at 60, and certain games such as like Forza 3, I think that runs at 60 frames a second as well. But what frames per second is, it's how many images, like how many still images a second is shown on the screen. So the more still images a second you're getting shown on the screen, the smoother it's going to look, and like the less of a jump there is between like two images. Like, it's hard to explain, but like if you imagine like a car moving across, if it's at 30 frames a second, you've got a car just going across the screen. If it's at 30 frames a second, there's going to be bigger gaps between like the car in the frame before and the car in the frame after, than if it's at 60, it's going to like half the distance. If that, it's quite hard to explain, but I think that makes like the most sense as an example I can just pluck out of thin air right now on the spot. And basically, if you're running a game at 60, it's going to be like, it's going to feel a lot more fluid. And actually, now that I have like been playing PC for a bit, and I've been playing games at 60 frames a second, when I go back to playing games at 30 frames a second, it actually feels like laggy. Like, if I don't know if you've ever like played PC games and they've been running at like 25 or like 20 frames a second, then they really do feel quite like laggy and jerky. That's what 30 frames a second feels like to me now, after having played at 60 for so long. So it's like, it really does give you a bit of an advantage, like if you can see things a lot more smoothly. Some PC games go up to like 120, like monitors you can go up to 120 Hz, which lets you play at 120 frames a second, which is just like absolute madness. It's like 4 times the like average like frames per second of a console, which means you're getting like 4 times the smoothness, and it's just going to make it like that much more, like not only better but like easier of a playing experience for you guys. So that's also like another really good thing about like PC gaming, which makes it like not like better. I know probably quite a few people are going to hate on me for saying better. Obviously the Xbox is good in like certain, the PS3 are good in certain regards, which I'll move on in later videos. But at the moment, I'm talking about graphics, and PC really does have the advantage in these sort of things. So and another few things which like I just remembered, like another two things which a high resolution enables is like mini maps and such can take up a smaller space on your screen, because they can display like the same amount of pixels of information, but they can be smaller due to like the higher resolution you're using, which obviously is a lot of an advantage because you haven't got like maps and stuff blocking like half your screen and such. So it just makes it a lot easier for you. Like other things which like PC gaming has, which like console gaming doesn't, is the fact that you can really like customize the graphics settings. So like for example, when I play Call of Duty, there's the option for depth of field, which makes like if you're looking at something which is close by, it makes things in the distance blurry, gives it like a more of a realistic effect. Like if you look at, like say if you hold your hand in front of your face and look at that, then like stuff in the distance is going to look blurry, and if you look at stuff in the distance, your hand which is close to your face is going to look blurry. That's like the sort of thing which Call of Duty does. And if you don't like that, which I personally don't, then I turn that off, because that means that I can be looking at something close and also still clearly see things which are in the distance, which is like a real help and stuff like that. And for like other games and such, you can turn like other various features off to give you like either performance increases. Like you can choose whether you want like a game running at really good frames per second or looking really good. You can like choose whether you prefer to have like the competitive edge by having like faster frames per second, or you just want to experience the game in like its full like detail and such like that. It's like I currently run Battlefield on like a mix between medium and high settings, just because I want the like competitive edge which 60 frames a second gives me. Whereas if I was like showing a new person it, I'd put it all on like higher, like mixture of high and ultra, just so they get to see like what it all looks like, because then if you're new to PC gaming, you probably won't benefit from 60 frames a second that much because you're so used to 30. But obviously you want to try and get 60 frames a second, because it really does make a hell of a lot of difference, believe it or not. So yeah, that's like resolution. Another cool thing which PC gaming has is if you're actually running at lower resolutions, it's got a feature called anti-aliasing. And what anti-aliasing does is if you look at something diagonal, it tends to have like a jagged edge where it's going like, if you imagine like down the pixels, it's like stairs. So like it's going to have like a jagged edge going down it. Whereas if you're running on PC, I'm not sure if console games use anti-aliasing, but PC games definitely do. You can actually smooth these edges out, so it just looks a lot like smoother and more realistic. And it's like a really nice feature to have, which makes games look amazing. It does give you a bit of an FPS here, but it does make the difference between like a game looking like it's running on like a Super Nintendo Entertainment System or something like that, to running on like a gaming PC, for example. So yeah, that's pretty much summing up like the main difference in graphics. Can't even talk. The main difference in graphics from PC to consoles, in that just it looks so much more realistic. It runs at such higher frame rates, and it just provides like a better, like these higher frame rates, higher resolutions, and like the ability to customize settings just makes it like a whole better gaming experience for you guys. Obviously it can take a bit of tweaking to get right, which is where like consoles have it in the advantage, because they come like pre-tweaked to give the best performance versus looks, like sort of thing. They come pre-tweaked to do that, so obviously it takes like the working out the best setting, because it made it like when you get a new game, it does take a few like when I get a new game, I probably spend, I don't know, like 10 or 20 minutes trying to figure out like what are the best settings for me to use on it, whereas on console it all comes pre-set up, so you haven't got to like faff around with all the settings and stuff, which is obviously an advantage in the console's favour. But I just find the extra customization, the like availability of like choice, like the actual being able to choose what I want my game to run like / look like, just makes me feel a lot better about like my gaming experience, because it means I can customize it to suit my needs. So in the graphics section, I think it is a really quite a positive win for PC, even if you're running games on like, for example, Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360 is the same as running Battlefield 3 on the PC on low settings. It's like, that's like what the difference is. So even if you're running it on low settings to give yourself the maximum frame rate and stuff like that, you're still getting like the same graphics experience as Xbox and PlayStation 3. I think PlayStation 3 was like something the same. I'm not entirely sure about it, so don't take it as that. But from what I've heard, it is the same as running it on PC on low. So that pretty much sums up the graphics section of this video series. Sorry, I'm just making loads of mistakes. Please comment to say whether you like this. Obviously, giving it a like to show you like it is also a very good way of showing you like it. If you want to see more of this series or more of my other gameplay commentaries and such, then please check out my channel and be sure to subscribe, because it really spurs me on to do these sort of videos for you guys. And yeah, I just want to say goodbye. So thanks guys for watching, and goodbye.